Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new type of video in my channel, and that is Dragon Ball Super TCG deck profiles. I think I'll be doing a lot of them because I really like playing this game. I also really like deck building. Now, the reason I'm not using physical copies of the card is because I feel like I can put out higher quality videos by using something like Shenron's Lair or dbsdeckbuilder.com or something, and just bring you the full list here so you get to see everything, and at the same time I can just easily talk in the back and you can hear my soothing voice while I go through the deck and explain how the deck works, what the deck wants to do, and the sort of cards you should be playing, and more or less your game plan. So that's pretty much what I want to do. I feel like here I want to add something like a webcam because it makes it so that, like, in a way, I'm more connected to the viewers, but I currently do not have a webcam. But if you want me to use webcam, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll try to get a webcam for future deck profiles. But yeah, let me just take a nice little sip of water. Because I've been trying to do this profile for a while, but I keep messing up here and there. I want to make sure I have everything perfect. So anyway, let's talk about Dr. Myuu. So Dr. Myuu is a fantastic leader because he allows you to cheat out cards for essentially free. What I mean by this is that Dr. Myuu has the ability to allow you to play a machine mutant that has 5,000 or less power and just play without paying its energy cost. And that is just really good because it's a once button effect, so you can constantly just pressure your opponent by summoning out cards, and those cards will give you advantage. And the reason why you're pressuring your opponent is because you're pressuring them with resources. You basically have more resources than they do. And you have a really consistent engine to always have something to play. It's very rare that you'll have like a dead play, just because your engine is so consistent. And then at Fall Life, you awaken into your Scheming Dr. Myuu, and your abilities essentially upgrades from 5,000 to 10,000. So you more or less have double the options of cards that you can play, and it basically allows you to tutor out 2-drops for essentially free without having to pay cost. And that is just insane because playing a 2 cost means you can save that energy and play it for other things and just make stronger plays. And the other really nice thing about this is when this card attacks, you basically draw a card. So you'll just basically draw, play stuff, gain advantage, draw, lower your opponent's cards and just pressure them, keep everything under control, and just like constantly pressure your opponent. That's more or less what that's basically how to play this deck. Keep things under control and pressure your opponent. You're not playing like a super aggressive deck where you just want to kill your opponent, just pressuring your opponent. I think there's a big difference between trying to kill your opponent and trying to pressure your opponent. So yeah. Now let's go through the cards card by card. I'll go from lower cost to higher cost, but I think I might deviate here and there to just explain a few engines, and I think that's what I'm going to do right now. So we have the Machine Mutant engine of the cannons, we have the Rildo engine, we have the Trunks engine, and we have the Baby engine. These are all different engines slash packages that help you do different things, but in the end they all help you win. That's basically what we're trying to do here, is we are trying to win. Anyway, right now I'm using a few too many 3-drops for my taste, but I feel like in the end it all works out and I don't have to be too mad about it. And yeah, I'll just go through the deck now. So we have Dr. Myuu under Baby's control. When we play this, we look at the top 3, add a Machine Mutant or Baby. Very simple, very effective. Nat, when we play Nat and we have Dr. Myuu as leader, we get to add a Bizu. Bizu is our first of the 2-drops. Then we have Planet M2. I really want to play this card at 4, but I'm playing 3 Vados Assistants, and I'll explain why in a minute. But Planet M2 is really good because when we play this and we have Dr. Myuu as leader, we draw a card. And then when we're in the battle section of our turn, we can switch this to rest, and then choose an opponent's leader or battle card and loses 5,000. This is really good to help you set up early trades to pressure your opponent's leader, since you're basically lowering their attack without really going neg. And this is a effect that you can constantly use every single turn, and it's just really good to help you trade more efficiently. Then we have Vados Assistants. Currently playing this card at 3. The reason why I'm playing at 3 is because Peter Katani plays a lot of his counters at 3, and he says 3 is the magic number. And I mean, if I'm going to take any advice from a pro, is ratios. And yeah, I'm just playing this at 3. Now, if I was to make the deck a little bit more consistent in the form of like the power department or the draw department, I'll probably play Planet M2 at 4 and Vados Assistants at 2. But because the meta is a little bit aggressive, not like super hyper aggressive like it once was with like Mecha Freeze and Apes and everything. I mean, we still have that nowadays, but you know, Blue Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Goku is more of a defensive deck, and even if you're not playing Super Saiyan 3 Blue Goku Control, you'll still a lot of decks utilize the Super Saiyan 3 Goku for basically having a higher energy pool and ramping more efficiently. So I want to make sure I can stop my opponent early on, or at least later on, when my opponent is using devastating combos or trying to just win off massive attacks. And that's why I'm going with the 3 Vados Assistants. Anyway, moving on to our other card that we can tutor out with Dr. Myuu, and that is Baby Vengeance Unleashed. When we play this card, we choose a Machine Mutant, as long as our leader is a red Machine Mutant, and choose up to 1 baby with an energy. Okay, no, I'm reading this really awkwardly. Let me read the card how it's written out. So, Unit Absorb, choose one of your battle cards and place it under this card. If your leader is a red Machine Mutant, then choose up to 1 baby with an energy cost of 4 or less with the same character name as this card you play, with the same character name as the card you placed under this card from your deck, and play it on top of this card, then shuffle your deck. So essentially you absorb a baby to then bring out a higher baby. That's pretty much all the card says. This is very, very easy to do, and it helps you cheat out any kind of 4 or 3 drop baby, so your Saiyan Strength baby or your Baby Dawn of Vengeance. That's essentially what the card means, and even though it's worded a little bit awkwardly, it's just once you play this card, it's very easy to use. Moving on to our Trunks, we have the Intensified Power Trunks. I'm playing 3 copies of this because I'm not necessarily looking forward to Self-Awakening as quickly as possible, but I want to be able to Self-Awaken when my opponent is stalling me out at 5. 5 is a very awkward place to be because you're not at full energy like you are at 8, but you're not at 4 on the, when you can Self-Awaken. You're in that awkward spot of being at 5, and by playing just enough Trunks to see them, you essentially have the ability to just Self-Awaken a little bit quicker. And also this card has critical, so it allows us to control our opponent's hand a little bit by killing the energy, not giving them the plus. And that's the reason why I prefer playing this card over something like Kaba, where Kaba can end up giving our opponent something like 2 cards, and that is just no good. You know, you want to make sure they have the least amount of cards as possible and not a lot of cards to fight back. And yeah, 3 Intensified Power Trunks. Then we have the Bizu. When we control Dr. Myuu, we can add Ribbit, and when we play Ribbit, we can, as long as we control Dr. Myuu as leader, we can add Nezzy. Nezzy is a little bit of a tricky one, but it's a pretty simple card. Anyway, 4 of our Handy Giru super combo card. I mean, you can only play 4 super combos, and Giru is the red super combo. It's pretty good. It's pretty generic, doesn't do a whole lot, but it's just standard super combo material, so nothing upsetting about the card, nothing exciting about the card like the black super combo, but it's just a good super combo, you know? I said super combo a lot of times. Then we have Commander Nezzy. Commander Nezzy allows you to unit absorb from your hand or battle area a Bizu and a Ribbit and bring out a Super Sigma. This is really important because Super Sigma allows us to set up our Rildo plays, but Super Sigma is also a really good pressure card. And when we play this card and our leader is Dr. Myuu, we can add a Nat. So not only do you bring out Super Sigma, but you also get your cycle going again and you thin your deck out again. Nezzy is good because it's 15 power, which is quite chunky. Like, you can contest a lot of awakened leaders with this card, which is very good. And then you can just unit absorb and bring out Super Sigma and attack even more. So if you want to play a little bit aggro with the deck, you are able to, but if you want to play a little bit of a slower game, you have just a really consistent engine. Hidden Ability General Rildo is a really good card, and basically the card essentially allows us to absorb a Nezzy, Nat, Bizu, and Ribbit, and then bring out a General Rildo with 25,000 power from the deck and place it on top of this card. And this is really good because it brings out the Hyper Meta Rildo. And the card's just really efficient. Like, you pay 3 cost to bring out a 5 cost. So, you know, it's just nice little discounts. Then we have Baby Dawn of Vengeance. This card's really good. When you bring it out and your leader is a Machine Mutant, you choose an opponent's battle card. It loses 15,000, and if it has 0, it KOs it. Really, really good card to play at any circumstance. Like in the game, it just does a lot for you for like a really, really cheap cost, and you can even cheat the card out with Baby Vengeance Unleashed. Then we have Triple Union, Super Sigma, Double Striker, and then we can send this to the drop area and draw 2 cards, and then choose an opponent's card, and it loses 10,000, which is, again, very crucial, because if we can lower battle cards, we can KO them, and then the Super Sigma allows us to set up our Hyper Meta Rildo plays. Because by loading up your drop area with fuel, so like every of your machine mutants, you're able to bring out General Rildo, and then General Rildo will bring out the Hyper Meta Rildo, and again you can constantly pressure your opponent even more. And that's pretty much what Super Sigma does. It's a good card to bring out, pressure your opponent, draw a couple of cards, give yourself some nice card advantage, and then set up for future plays. Then we have Saiyan Strength Baby, Double Striker, and when we play this card and our leader is red, we draw a card, and then we choose an opponent's monster or battle card, and then it loses 20,000. 20,000 is a lot, and not only are we drawing a card, but we're also making our opponent lose a card, so it's a lot of advantage. Like, if you think about it, it's a lot of advantage for you. Then we have Chain Attack Trunks. This card is absolutely nuts. I'm playing 3 Intensified Power Trunks to facilitate bringing this card out. Because from a 4-drop to a 2-drop, you know, you're just being more efficient, right? So why not play a solid number of Chain Attack Trunks? And then this card can attack battle cards that are active, which is really good, because it makes it so that if your opponent is feeling safe, they will feel a lot less safe. And then the other really neat thing about this card is it allows us to play a card with 15,000 or less and play it. So we can cheat out essentially our 3 drops, which is really, really good. Since Commander Nez, you can start up your chain again. Rildo allows you to go into Meta Rildo, and Baby Dawn of Vengeance allows you to instantly KO a lot of cards. And Trunks is also really good to just pressure your opponent and just give you a lot of tempo. So there's not much more to be said about the card. The card is just solid. It's been played so much that I think the card just earned its own credit, and I don't need to sell it more. Then we have General Evolved Hyper Meta Rildo. He's like the Big Daddy Rildo, Double Striker. When you play this, everything loses 10,000 on your opponent's side, and then when this guy attacks, you choose something with 10,000 and just instantly KO it. Now, this is a little bit different than the usual reduced attack, because this just instantly KO something with 10,000, and it's every time the card attacks, so you're pressuring your opponent by attacking the leader, but you also get to choose something they control and just get rid of it. So this card is just so strong, and I think 3 is the correct number to play. I feel like the 3 of each Machine Mutant is just plenty, and the 3 Meta Rildo, even though you might think you won't bring out this card as much as you might with other engines, you can always just use it as energy, and the card's just like really solid on its own. And then finally, our new tool to play with, our new little toy, and this is a little bit better than the 7-drop Rildo, and I'll explain why. So the reason why is because, 1, it's less specific. The reason is because you evolve it to 4 energy, which is pretty easy, and 2, you have 6 targets to evolve it. You can evolve it from the Baby Dawn of Vengeance, the Baby Vengeance Unleashed, and I think you can evolve it off the Saiyan Strength Baby if it says Vegeta / Baby, or like Baby / Vegeta GT. If it says Baby /, it means this card counts as a Baby and a Vegeta. If not, then you only have 6 targets. But even then, 6 targets is a lot more than the 7-drop Rildo, which you can only EX evolve it off the Hyper Meta Rildo, and if you don't do it this way, you have to pay 7, and 7 is a little bit more than 6, and 7 is also a little bit more than 4, which is usually the number you'll bring this card out with. Energy. So I mean, okay, I worded that awkwardly, but what I mean to say is you usually bring this card out with 4 energy because you evolve it on top of a baby. And let's just go straight into this card, because this card is just the absolute beast that Dr. Myuu needed to establish itself as even like a competitive. I feel like this deck is competitive because it has so much utility, but not a lot of people are playing it because there are better options. When we get something like the current decks to be brought down a bit, Dr. Myuu will be like, it'll rise up in win percentage. Don't get me wrong, this deck doesn't lose, but it'll win more when all the better decks get toned down a little bit. just because like your engine is so consistent and you have so much power. Anyway, let's talk about Epical Grudge Great Ape Baby. This card has triple strike, which is really good. Let me just quickly check what time I'm on. Okay, this card has triple strike, which is phenomenal because I feel like a lot of people feel more comfortable at 3 health than it should be. 3 health, you're not in a critical state, but you're in a state where you feel like, oh, okay, I can't get killed by a double striker, and I feel like I have enough cards in hand to defend myself against. But when you bring something like the Great Ape Baby that has triple strike, your opponent is in for a treat because its second effect is just so good. So auto once per turn, when this card attacks, or your opponent plays a battle card, and this is really crucial because it's something that allows you to play on your opponent's turn. It's sort of like a counter that isn't really a counter, it's just something to mess up your opponent's strategy quite a bit. So not only are you drawing the turn you play this card, but you're also drawing when your opponent plays a card. So right off the bat, you're just going +2 off this card for essentially free if you didn't end the game right there on the spot. Great Ape Baby, when this card attacks or your opponent plays a battle card, draw a card and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it loses 20,000 for the duration of the turn. And remember, if a battle card reaches 0, it gets KO'd. So essentially, you can KO most 4-drops that your opponent tries to throw at you, and that is like really, really huge because KOing a 4-drop gives you so much advantage, because like 4 energies is a lot to commit to, and if you can just wipe it out, you're gonna make your opponent just lose a lot of tempo, you're gonna make your opponent lose a lot of resources, and you'll put your opponent in a spot where because they have 4 less energy to work with, unless they are playing Super Saiyan 3, they won't have that much energy to fight back against your triple striker. And that's why the card is just so good, and in my opinion is why the card is so much better than the 7-drop Rildo, and that's what I want to emphasize. I feel like it's better to reduce the number of gadgets you're playing, and then also play a little bit less of everything to make space for the baby package, because the baby package offers so much utility that 7-drop does not. Now, the 7-drop is really good because it allows you to send a Planet M2 that you control to the drop area and draw 2 cards, and also it can lower a lot of monsters by 20,000, which is again like a big deal, but it's less efficient in the way that you have to bring it out because 7 energy is more than 6, and if you want to EX evolve it, you have to discard a 5-drop Rildo, and discarding a 5-drop Rildo is not the easiest thing to do because 1, you'd have to play 4 Rildos, and 2, a lot of the times if you open up Rildo, you're going to be using it as energy, so the chances that you get another Rildo is slightly less. I mean, not so much less because you usually tutor it out directly from the deck using the hidden ability Rildo, but in the way that if you draw like 1 too many Rildos, you won't have a Rildo to discard off to EX evolve the 7-drop Rildo. So yeah, Great Ape Baby is a phenomenal card, and it will help this deck out a lot, trust me. So yeah, this has basically been my Dr. Myuu / Baby deck profile with a splash of Trunks, because I really, really like Trunks. Especially GT Trunks. Like, people sleep on GT a lot, and I think GT is actually quite cool. Anyway, that's besides the point. If you guys, once again, did enjoy this video, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.